Picture perfect on the surface. Oh, these illusions that we worship. I see the walls coming down. I hope someday we'll build them up on solid ground. Consequences go unnoticed, like the weight that's on our shoulders, pulling us down, but we don't know it. Or maybe we do, but just like the truth, we never show it. We don't need more money, 'cause money ain't the problem, baby. What are we becoming? 'Cause we lost more time than we'll ever get back, and we need something to keep us on track. Where are we going? Or where are we going? Running circles around walls that we've built, chasing never-ending feelings of guilt. Where are we going? Or where are we going? Everything makes sense on paper. Surface levels, are we safer? Don't let them in case they find somewhere within, under the skin's where you hide. We need more than cunning, words that don't solve nothing. What are we becoming? 'Cause we lost more time than we'll ever get back, and we need something to keep us on track. Where are we going? Or where are we going? Running circles around walls that we've built, chasing never-ending feelings of guilt. Where are we going? So where are we going? Where are we going? So where are we going? Maybe we've had the map all along, but we just didn't know it. Maybe we've been so wrapped up in the world that we missed the point, and now it's showing. How can we turn it around to hear the sound of inner peace? Maybe it's simpler than we think it should be. Where are we going? Where are we going? Where are we going? Where are we going? There's a wind and it's blowing. There's a current that's running deep. I can't see, but I know it. That something's not what it's meant to be. Hearing brother against brother now. Anger grows on divided ground. Sometimes I think that I lost the sound of the calm inside of me. I wanna see love make a comeback. I wanna feel hope when it runs out. I wanna see everybody joining in until kindness wins again. I need to know peace is not defeated. I need to know hate won't bring us freedom. It doesn't matter where you've been, we'll see kindness win again.
Tell me if I was falling, if I was down, would you even see? I'm so tired of calling out for someone to notice me. I've been down on my knees for so long, crying please. Where were you when I was hurting? Now that I pull back the curtain, oh,
see love make a comeback. I wanna feel hope when it runs out. I wanna see everybody joining in until kindness wins again. I need to know peace is not defeated. I need to know hate won't bring us freedom. It doesn't matter where you've been, we'll see kindness win again. Let's love one another. Let's love one another. Got to lift up one another. We gotta be there for each other. Let's love one another. Let's love one another. Got to lift up one another. We gotta be there for each other. We're gonna see love make a comeback. We're gonna feel hope when it runs out. We're gonna see everybody join in till kindness wins again. We're gonna know peace is not defeated. We're gonna know hate won't bring us freedom. It doesn't matter where you've been, we'll see kindness win again. This is the century. This is the century. This is the century to win your immortality. How many strong are we? Bring down the enemy. This is no calling, we're no fooling. We can set you free. This is the sun, and now it's time. This is the sun, your time to shine. We will make history. We will make history. We will make history. We'll make you history. We will make history. We will make history. We will make history. We'll make you history. This is your destiny. This is your destiny. This is your destiny to multiply the dynasty. How many strong are we? Bring down the enemy. This is no calling, we're no falling. We can set you free. This is the sun, and now it's time. This is the sun, your time to shine. We will make history. We will make history. We will make history. We'll make you history. We will make history. We will make history. We will make history.
You're perfect. I see it in your eyes. You wanna help this? Don't you realize? Infatuated with a little taste. You're perfect. Something you can't escape. I wanna see it. Wanna feel your love. I wanna touch it. I never have enough. I love you. You're my little piece. You're perfect. And I keep on sitting next to you. You're everything. It's the part of you. You can talk with me. You're going to lose. I want to taste your love. Anything you want to do. If you try to run your mind and find a love.
Girl, test my love, every single last drop. Won't be satisfied, baby, till you begging me to stop. Shawty getting rough, she cut me, don't give a fuck. Shades of you know precise, she drugged and tied me up. Good thing I'm a savage, so simple, always manage. Flip up the script, leave it pinned out to the mattress. Edgy till I die, these amolas call me senpai. Girl, I'm down the race, sucking blood till it runs dry. Staring at those legs, getting tranced by those thigh highs. Being hypnotized, slow and enthralled by those boy eyes. Oh my, it's the king of the icky. Fangirls worldwide saying my voice is sexy. I don't care what you say, I know one thing, shit, they don't love you like I do.
motherfucking trailer.
Would you like to see Gorosaurus versus Man, the solo trilogy from Toho? No, I would not, because nobody gives a shit about those two monsters. So let's be real, honestly. With the exception of a handful of Toho monsters, a lot of them really suck.
Whatever it takes to stop the motherfucking lie.
Look at this guy's got glasses. Oh, a sophisticated zombie.
I heard Rodan's in here. I don't know if I don't know if I missed him.
I missed Rodan. On top of the volcano, I missed Rodan. Flying over the water, I missed Rodan. He's been confirmed, established 2014, right here on E.T.N motherfucking N. I have only ever loved one woman. And it ain't you, bitch. Poof. Bye-bye. Have a nice trip. See you next fall, because winter's coming.
I figured, I thought it was pretty good. I thought I liked it. I enjoyed it. And number one is Godzilla. Godzilla?
Motherfucking trailer.
Many diamonds dangling. Bag full of money we strangling. Hate me, fry me, bake me, try me. All the above cause you can't get in. I don't want no problem. Because me professional. Make you shake your cats up, thank you. Haters take it personal. Like a Canada tight tits out now talk. Oh, let's go. Not my money, let's go. Such kitchen, over, let's go. Let's go. To heal level up, level color, let's go. Let's go. Need you walk, go, tonight, need go. New york, so let's go. Pain point.
I wonder if you know that it be Tokyo. If you seen it, then you mean it, then you know you have to go.
There we go. Took a few minutes. Sorry about that. All right. I don't know how much time we had before they were going to knock me offline. And move this camera. Much better. Oh. Sorry about that. Okay. It's a lot to talk about. It's a lot to talk about. It's a lot to discuss. What's going on, everybody? Happy Friday. Hope everybody's had a good week. How you doing, Steve? All right. I want to just clarify. I haven't seen 65. So when I put that in the title, it was to talk about what's been being said about the movie so far. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm really going to get a chance to see it this weekend. Obviously, today's Friday. Tomorrow, we're celebrating my son's birthday. And then Sunday, it's not really a movie day for me. Sunday is more of a just chill day. So I'm not sure I'm going to be able to catch it this weekend. But I'm not even sure if I want to go see it right now. I'm not, at least from what I've seen, it's not, I've only seen like 1 or 2 reviews, and it's not really, they weren't really saying anything good about it. But again, you know, I have been more, what's the word I'm looking for? I have been more open to take certain reviews seriously of movies now, because I'm so cautious about investing money at the theater for a movie that may not be good. So I'm not, while I was 100% certain I was going to see it before, now hearing what I'm hearing so far, I'm a little bit reluctant to spend the money. Hollywood to me has not really been doing good the last couple of years. More movies are bad than they are good. Marvel is a shit show now. DC has reset for the 100th time. I'm more apt to just wait. I'm so given how expensive things are now, for me to go to the theater and spend $20+ for something I may not enjoy, it's like I almost have to be guaranteed to enjoy it. Like, it has to be pretty much unanimous. Now, I never used to take reviews seriously before. You know what I mean? Like, I never, not that I didn't take them seriously, but I always thought to myself, all right, well, that sucks that maybe this is not getting a good review, but I'm going to go check it out. I'd be willing to invest the money to have my own opinion. Now, I'm more reserved to wait till it comes out on stream than spend the money. You know what I mean? It's too tough right now, even for me. And most of these movies I wouldn't go alone anyway. And it's a very, very large expense to go to the movies for a whole family. So I'm very, very open to listening to critics now. If I'm not hearing rave reviews for a movie, it's likely I'm not going to go see it. You know what I mean? That's just how it is. And that might change a year or two from now when things get a little bit better, in this country economically. But right now, to spend $30 for 2 hours and to watch a film I may not like, I just can't do it. I can't. So I'm not 100% certain I'm going to see this movie, which is disappointing because I was looking forward to it. But now that some reviews are coming out, I'm not as optimistic or as I'm not as optimistic about the movie as I was. So one of the big things in the reviews is that there is hardly any dinosaur action in this movie. And given how I felt about Jurassic World Dominion and the lack of dinosaur action there, that was a big red flag for me not to spend any money. It's just, and it's not just one review. I mean, right here, Adam Driver gets a weak taste of dynamite in Sci-Fi Thriller 65. So it's just, again, I might watch it when it comes out on stream. I might watch it and I might love it. You know what I mean? I might love it. And that's fine. If I end up liking it when it comes on stream, then that's fine. But am I willing to invest the money for something that's maybe just mediocre at best? I can't do it. I can't do it right now. So if you're watching 65 right now, Doomslayer, what the hell are you doing on stream? So the movie must not be that good if you're chatting on stream. It's like, the dinosaurs in 65 look boring as well. Apparently, it's nothing but carnivores. Yeah, again, I just, I haven't really seen the dinosaurs outside of the trailer. Let's just hope 65 is not like Jurassic World Dominion, because we all remember when Rob watched the movie on that stream. So, Doomslayer giving us the play-by-play. Yeah, so, that's really my piece on 65. There were enough mediocre reviews on it to turn me away and just wait. That's pretty much it, It's like buying food you end up disliking. What if you're supposed to do after the second bite? Right, seriously. 65 is named after the amount of money it'll make at the box office. Yeah, maybe. All right. Let's get into the trailers that came out earlier this week. A lot of stuff came out this week, but they had more John Wick clips coming out. There was a couple other trailers came out for like Apple TV. That there was a movie coming out on Apple TV that actually looks pretty good. But the ones I want to focus on, I've watched 65 and it's just okay for me. Yeah, see, I can't spend money at the movies for just okay. It has to be stellar. It has to be a can't miss in theaters, If it's just okay, then I'm happy with my decision to avoid it. It's disappointing. I was looking forward to it, but now hearing what I'm hearing, again, a couple of years ago, I wouldn't have cared. I would have checked it out anyway to form my own opinion. But now the reviews I'm taking into consideration simply so I can decide whether or not I want to wait. And in this case, I think I'm going to wait. Still no Transformers. Rise of the Beast trailer. We have Just Okay at Home. Just play Ark for more dinosaurs. There's some controversy on the scientific accuracy of the dinosaurs. See, and that's the other thing too. Like, I just just don't try to be accurate. Just have fun with it. Who gives a shit? It's a movie. I guess it really depends on what your flavor is. Because there's certain movies that if there's a lack, depending on the genre and the subject matter, if there's a lack of some accuracy, it does annoy me too. So I guess for dinosaurs, for me, I don't give a shit because I see them as monsters, and I'm always of the opinion that, despite the fact that we have fossils and things like that, is there really 100% certainty that we know what they look like? Because we never actually seen them. You know what I mean? Like, I know there's like copper dating and all that stuff, but to me, until you actually see it, do we really know that it looked this way? Do we really know it had this kind of color? Do we really know that whether one had feathers over the other? You know what I mean? So to me, it's like, just roll with it. Just go with, But again, that's for dinosaurs. Not just inaccuracy, but like I said, also boring. The designs are Walmart bucket bin inspired designs. Damn, you talk about those $2 dinosaurs. You can just pick up a bunch of them and give them to your kid, right? The only dinosaurs we see today is just birds, and that's about it. So, all right. I'm going to talk about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles first. I'm going to share my opinion. Now, I know a lot of people are excited for this. A lot of people like the art design, which it does look very good. I think the fact that it looks as good as it does is probably going to win people over. That even people who might be reluctant because of the drastic changes that have been made. For me, it's not for me. It's not for me. Splinter looks absolutely ridiculous. All the turtles, all the voice actors are kids. I actually thought Donatello was a girl. I thought they were going to roll out Donatello as Donatella, but it turns out it's a little boy named Makai Abi. So it is a boy, and God, I hope his balls drop soon because he sounds like a chick. I know he's young. He's got a couple more years to go through puberty, but damn, my son had a deep voice at a much younger age than this kid. This kid literally sounds like a little girl. And I was like, whoa. I hope his nuts drop soon, man. He needs a little more bass in there. I really, yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. I really thought Donatello was a girl. And I said to myself, before I rant, let me look it up. And sure enough, it is a boy. And I'm like, wow. Yeah, I don't like the idea of the turtles being like 12-year-old kids. That's pretty much what they are. Splinter looks like a complete joke. April O'Neil's a fat black chick. Not interested. I'm kind of tired. I'm really getting sick and tired of Hollywood taking all these classic IPs and replacing them with minorities, because that to me is not diversity, it's pandering. If you really care about diversity, if you really want to see more Spanish and black and whatever in Hollywood, and you're in Hollywood and it's your responsibility to do this, why are we not taking the time to write original stories and generate original characters specifically made for diversity? And there's two reasons why this happens. Number one, lazy. If you go back to all my videos, as sporadic as they are, there's one major theme, one major complaint I have with many shows and movies in the last 6 months. Writing is fucking horrendous. I am so turned off right now to movies and TV shows that have this terrible writing. As you guys know, I spoke about this last week. I have literally subjected myself to watching reality TV. That's where I'm at now. I've been watching reality TV for 2 weeks. I haven't watched the movie. I haven't even watched Megan yet, which I still want to see, but I've just been hooked on watching reality TV because I'm getting more entertainment out of that than I am from most movies and TV shows that have come out in the last 6 months. And you're looking at a person that for the most part despises reality TV. Because movies and TV shows have been so bad, I'm actually getting enjoyment out of watching it. That's not good. And I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one in the world that is in this spot. And and it's made me realize this is why I probably don't do show reviews anymore, and you hardly see movie reviews anymore, because none of this stuff interests me. I understand there's a lot of YouTubers out there that'll swallow the pill and bite the bullet because YouTube is their job. They have to review this no matter how much they like it or not. Me, if I don't like it, I ain't discussing it. Full stop. If it doesn't interest me, I'm not going to waste my time or my money to watch it just to give it a review and hope I get 700 or 800 views. It's not happening. It actually doesn't matter how many views I got, whether I got 700, 800 or 700,000, 800,000. If I don't like it, if I'm not interested, I'm not watching it, and therefore I'm not reviewing it. That's really where it comes down to. I have been watching sitcoms like 2.5 Men and Last Man Standing, and yeah, what's happening is they're taking all the classic stuff many of us liked when we were younger, and they're essentially butchering it. And that's the other thing that drives me away from all these recent reboots. Not only are they pandering to minorities by switching all these characters to black and I can't even say Spanish. They're not even pandering to me. Like, for all this talk about diversity, I mean, look, let's be real. Black people are getting their cock sucked hard. Spanish people are not even getting a lick. Spanish people are not even, for all the diversity talk, I don't see hardly any Spanish characters. I mean, if you're going to bullshit me, at least bullshit me and make me happy. Not that I would be, because you guys know where I stand, but the point I'm trying to make is, for all the pandering, for all the crap, it's not really diverse when it's only one race getting the spotlight. You know what I mean? If you're gonna lie to me, at least give my race some burn. It's like, you know what I mean? But be that as it may, the point I'm trying to make is that there are two major reasons. One of them you guys I already spoke about. I don't like the pandering. Replacing classic characters with minorities and then calling it diversity when it's really not. It's just pandering because you're not taking the time, the patience, or the effort to make new IPs and generate new characters that can be represented by minority people. That's my one issue. My second issue is that they're killing two birds with one stone. The other thing they're doing, and they're doing this on purpose, make no mistake, they're purposely just killing this shit. They don't really care whether or not it does well. You know what I mean? Their goal in Hollywood, the goal is to take all the things people love and just shred it. No pun intended in regards to TMNT. So they feel like they're serving two purposes. They're basically trying to destroy the old, rebuild it with the whole modern audience. That's the new term. You guys all hear that, the modern day audience. And then at the same time pandering to minorities and then trying to clap their hands to express how diverse they are. I think it's an insult. I think it's a direct attack, and I think it's racist. And I can't support it. I can't. This is why I don't watch Marvel anymore. I have not watched all the stuff we used to love and talk about, the Marvel movies and this and that. I haven't watched any of that in months. I have literally been watching reality TV. Literally, my wife, she's laughing. And the reason my wife is laughing because she knows I despise reality. So she knows entertainment-wise, in terms of what I used to love and everything, is dead. If I have stooped to the point that I'm watching reality TV, that is how disgusted I am with everything that comes on TV now. And of course, Godzilla's the exception, but there's not a lot going on in the MonsterVerse right now. You know? So, that leads me into Peter Pan. This also, I'm not going to lie, this one made me bitter. This one hurt. This one really made me want to just, I wish I could just walk into Hollywood studios and just call these people out to their face. You know what I mean? It's frustrating when you feel the way you feel about these things and you really have no way to let it out. Because I can talk to you guys, but I really want to just get in the face of these people and tell them to go fuck themselves. You know what I mean? I'm at the point now where I really do hope Hollywood just crumbles. And I'm doing my part to see that it happens. Peter Pan is one of my favorite characters growing up. I've always loved the whole idea of, being a big kid. Obviously growing up, we all have to do it. And when push comes to shove, we all take care of our responsibilities. But there's always going to be that kid in you. And Peter Pan, for me, represents that growing up from a kid to the man that I am now. I've seen every Peter Pan iteration that you could possibly think of. Obviously, the original Disney movie, Hook, Peter Pan and the Pirates cartoon that I grew up watching on Fox. The recent Peter Pan movie from 10, 15 years ago with, I forget his name, played Captain Hook, but he was also in the Harry Potter series. When I saw this, I said to myself, this is fucking weak. The Lost Boys, now there were never any girls in the Lost Boys. The only girl that was ever in Peter Pan, when you look at Peter Pan, and besides who was in Neverland, because obviously you have the mermaids, you have Tiger Lily, but in the core, it was always just Wendy. And the reason it was always Wendy is because Wendy kind of represented the maturity of the group. Even though she was also a young girl, she was the mother figure. She represented, there's a lot of deep, Peter Pan is a lot deeper than I think people give it credit for. Yes, it's a bunch of boys having fun, not wanting to grow up. But Wendy was a very central, important character in the Peter Pan story in terms of kind of representing motherhood and maturity. And showing that being responsible and growing up is important, taking responsibility. She is essentially the best character in Peter Pan. She never fought. That was not what she was. Now I see this trailer and she's flipping around and it's like, oh, here we go with this bullshit. Tinkerbell, again, we're replacing characters. All right, we have to make the black people happy, so let's make Tinkerbell black. Forget writing a new character. You know what I mean? Which you really can't do with Peter Pan now because it's a very old IP. But again, it's just another example of lazy diversity, right? I think we could all agree. We all agree diversity is a good thing. We all want to see many different races and mixes in all movies. Why is it, and this goes twofold, why is it that only black people are being switched into these characters? You look at a movie like Everything Everywhere All at Once, right? Originally written, characters written to be, you know, Chinese or Japanese, whatever. I didn't see the movie, to be fair. So the point I'm trying to make is, why aren't we seeing black or Spanish original movies written with black and Spanish people in them? How many foreign Asian movies have come out in the last couple of years where obviously the stories are written and surrounded for those, you know what I mean? If it can be done from other countries, why aren't we doing it? Why are we just being lazy and replacing these classic characters written from like the 40s or even earlier? It's just, it's such an insult. And the fact that people just accept this is boggling to me. You know, like it is literally racism right in your face and people are just eating it up. People are just eating it up. It is the most. Now I get it. It's not as obvious to people as it is to me. Maybe it's my age and growing up during a period where, honestly, racism was not like it is now. You know, growing up in the late 80s, 90s, early 2000s, race, the way it is now, the way it's thrown out there, that was not happening back then. So I think because I've seen us during a time where we weren't clashing racially versus now everybody is, I can see the difference. Not only in the entertainment industry, but just in general. I can see the difference of this new way of being racist without being obvious. You know? And it boggles me, but I think I understand why people younger than me don't see it that way. You know what I mean? And I see it because I see the change. I see the difference. You know, if somebody was racist back in the 90s, they were blatant. You know what I mean? It was very blatant. Now it's almost like I'm trying like subterfuge almost. You know what I mean? Like basically someone in Hollywood is saying, we don't care about you enough to give you what you want. Rather, I should say, we don't care about you enough to make the effort to make a new movie, IP, or character about you. But we understand that you need this, so we're just going to give you this. And whatever we create, we'll create it for somebody else. It's the same message of being handed something because we think you're either not good enough to make it on your own, you're a victim. It's just insulting. If somebody handed me, if I had $2 million, right? On one hand, it's $1 million that I can earn versus $1 million that someone's going to give me with a bag of insults. Like someone says, look, Rob, here's $1 million. I'm giving this to you because basically you're Puerto Rican and I don't think you're smart enough or clever enough to actually earn your way to where you need to be. So I'm just here. Because that's essentially what these people are saying. And and again, I get it. It is so well done. And all the key words and the key notes are so well said that anyone who didn't grow up during the 80s and the 90s and the early 2000s to see just how good race relations were, I could understand in the last 10 years why they would see that as a good thing, but it's not a good thing. It's a blatant insult. It's blatant racism. And I'm sick and tired of it. And I understand there's gonna be a lot of young people that don't agree with me. They're not gonna see it that way, and that's okay. I've always believed, and I've said this many times, reality is gonna have its day. The truth is gonna have its day. And that's all there is to it. That's all there is to it, really. Peter Pan is one of my favorite IPs. I'm disgusted by what they've done, because the characters and the reason they were written the way they are, there's a reason behind that. There's a specific meaning. And to see Wendy going out there fighting pirates now is absolutely absurd. They actually made her character worse. You know what I mean? I know on the surface it looks cool. Wendy's getting involved, and not only is Peter and the Lost Boys fighting pirates, but so is Wendy. Yeah! On the surface, that looks great. But underneath, if you know the story of Peter Pan and what Wendy means to the Lost Boys and Peter, it's a complete shredding of the character. Complete shredding. She looks like Mila Jovovich. What? What are you talking about?
What do you mean by what Wendy means to the Lost Boys?
And Peter Pan.
You said like her name has a different meaning to them.
No. What I'm saying is that what the character meant to the Lost Boys is now gone in the new Peter Pan movie.
Oh yeah,
They basically shredded the character.
they thought it was
All right, shut up. 22 and about to hit 23, and seeing how Hollywood is destroying itself is just sad. It makes me want to back and watch Hook just to forget about this remake. In reality, Wendy would be making an OnlyFans instead of fighting. That's actually the end credit scene, Johnny. That's the end credit scene. So you don't like Blacker Bell? No, not a Tinkerbell. And again, I want to also make this clear. This is not the actors or actresses' faults. You know? And these are mainly kids. I mean, these are kids now. They don't know any better. You know what I mean? I mean, the whole Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, like those those are all kids. Obviously, Splinter is being played by Jackie Chan and all the... But, I mean, they're shredding the past. They're trying to replace it with this new diverse versions of all our favorite IPs. And they are essentially spitting in the face of both sides twice. They're spitting in the face of the modern audience because they're feigning diversity. And they're spitting in the face of the older audience that loves these classics by changing it to the point where it's unrecognizable. It's essentially destroying the past. And I know there's a lot of people that don't take that seriously. Oh, it's just a movie. Oh, this is part of American culture. And American culture has a huge impact on people, whether it's directly impactful or subconsciously. It changes the way people view and think. I mean, music, for example, has a huge impact on people, right? A lot of people have take music like to a whole nother level, you know? That's what made Eminem so popular. Because he rapped about stories. He told stories in a way that people really gravitated towards. And sometimes his stories had underlying messages that people would always try to figure out. Tool, one of my favorite bands, is a great example of how influential music can be. People have spent years trying to dissect Tool songs and what they might mean.
Akno Goji tipped $20, so nukes.
Thanks for the 20, Akno, and no. Yeah, and finally, it's written by Seth. It's Seth Rogen's in charge of the project, so you know, there's no. You want to talk about someone who is a pander bear? Is Seth Rogen? Tool, they all right? Are you crazy? Tool is one of the best bands out there. Their last album wasn't that great, I will admit, but most of their music is really good. Yeah, not a panda bear, a pander bear. They're all pander bears. Peter Pan is it's heartbreaking to see what they've done to that movie, to that series. Oh, here's another thing. I'm sure you guys might have heard of this, but if not, it's important to take note. So, did you guys hear about what they're doing to the James Bond books? Anybody hear about that? How they're changing? Imagine being a writer who's left a legacy of stories that have turned into a great series of movies. Again, I'm not a Bond fan personally, but I know a lot of people are. So what they're doing is they've taken all the books, because remember, James Bond's, these books were written way back when. The people in charge of the estate of I don't remember the writer's name, so I apologize. And I heard this about 2 weeks ago. They're essentially taking the James Bond books, and they hired a team to go through the James Bond books and take out anything that would be a trigger. So anything that either certain sex innuendos or anything that would come across as racist, they're basically stripping the book. And now, the original versions of it, there's going to be two versions. There's going to be the original version and then the trigger warning version. That's not literally what it's called, but so I can get the point across. They're basically taking this guy's property and they're stripping it down for people who would be offended by whatever was in the original version. Like, really? Yeah, it is disrespect to take a writer's work and alter it. Of course, if he was alive, this wouldn't happen. But he's dead now, so if he's dead, we can just disrespect the property as much as we want. It is insulting. This is where we're at. Yeah, I did hear that they did the same thing to the Willy Wonka books. Very true. Yeah, it's just it's I you know, maybe it's time to change my channel. Maybe it's time to change the title. Maybe I should just focus on video games because I'm at least getting enjoyment out of video games when I play them. But I can't see myself doing a movie or show review anytime soon. I can't. I don't want to give my money to Hollywood anymore. I don't want to give my money. I don't want to watch all this garbage. It's all garbage. It's just so bad. It's so bad. It's all the same shit. Rob, do you think they might race swap Kratos to black in the God of War show coming? You know, that is a gray area because I don't know. Technically, they shouldn't. He's a Spartan. The Spartans were all white, basically, or Spaniard, it's like Spanish. Because, I mean, that whole region, I mean, I don't know how it was back in the day, but, you know, like, there's certain races that people think are white or not white. Like Italians. Italians are Latin. They're not white. I tell this to my wife all the time. Portuguese is Latin. It's not white. Me and my wife had this fight all the time because she's, like, partially Portuguese. And I'm like, yeah, so you're Latin. You know, it's Latin. It's people from Spain obviously are Latin. You know what I mean? Latin has a lot of regions in this world. You know, it's not just like Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, Venezuela, or Panama. I mean, there's a lot of Latin regions in Europe. Just like there's a lot of different Asians, you know, in Asia, like, you know, Korean, Japanese, Indian people are considered Asian to some extent because of the region. This country has gotten so puritanical, except they're okay with showing movies like bros and cuties in our face. Yeah, well, I think bros got the message. Yeah, you know, that's the other thing. We've had this discussion before. I don't want to rub. Well, I don't give a shit if I rub anyone the wrong way, but we've had the whole discussion about the gay push. You know what I mean? It's just ridiculous. You know, like I don't care if you're gay or if you're. I don't give a shit. Just leave me alone. You know, that's basically what it is. Just leave me alone. But that the majority of that community wants you to treat them like they're special, and they're not. They're just people that happen to live different lifestyle. Hello, there have been people doing that for years. Just because yours involves a different preference doesn't mean you're any more special than anyone else. That's basically what it comes down to. Yet they got, first of all, they got like a million different flags, which is stupid. They want to fly a flag like in the, I mean, it's just, it's the narcissism is so insane. Like, I don't even know where all this, like, humility is one of the most important things you can develop as a human. You know what I mean? Thoughts on the Euphoria show? I've never seen it, Bobby. I don't know how long you've been here. I've just said to everybody, I really haven't watched any shows in the past couple of months. There's just really nothing out there that, like, I know The Mandalorian's on right now. I'll probably go and check it out when it's done, you know? Because if I watch it and I do like it, I'm going to forget about it before the week is up, and then I won't go back and watch it. Because there's just, you know, I know The Mandalorian show is good. I've enjoyed it for the most part. It's not as big to me as it is to other people, to the point that oh my God, I'm so excited for it. Like, but it's a decent show. It'll be interesting when I watch it whether or not I see any changes that turn me off or make me more excited. I hope to be more excited, but I'm going to wait till all the episodes are out before I watch it. Because I know that way I'll watch the whole thing. Not going to lie, I was pretty excited when they announced Jackie Chan voicing. Thanks for the 5 act though.
Acno Goji tipped $5, so nukes tomorrow.
No, Acno, I will be streaming tomorrow, but no nukes. Not gonna lie, I was pretty excited when they announced Jackie Chan voicing Splinter until I saw the characters. Yeah, he looks absolutely stupid. He's got an Afro mohawk, essentially. And I'm not saying there's no such thing as a black Chinese race, like a mixed race. It's not very common. It's pretty uncommon. But, you know, you have a character that is presenting themselves as they would be in, you know, black, and you got Jackie Chan doing the voice. I like the Splinter that is a little bit more regal. The Splinter looks like it's not going to be that way. No, I mean, Acno just likes to do it to be fun, guys. He knows he can watch Nukes whenever he wants. He doesn't have to watch it here. Acno Nukes is free. Just go watch it yourself. Yeah. I am going to watch John Wick 4. That's like one of that one I'm definitely not going to miss. I just love the ridiculousness of that series. So that review, good or not, I'm going to go see it. I don't watch or care for TMNT, and the new movie already annoyed me. Yeah, there's a lot of people who are looking forward to it. You know, they're trying to mimic the Spider-Verse art style and all that. I don't care how pretty it looks. It looks stupid. None of the turtles, they sound like they're fucking 9 or 12 years old. Splinter looks ridiculous. April O'Neil looks like shit. She looks stupid. Everything about it looks dumb. It just looks terrible to me. To me, it looks terrible. It looks like shit. Transformers looks interesting, but then again, I grew up with Beast Wars. I'm probably gonna check out Transformers. That's probably another one I'd be willing to fork over $20 for. It looks more like Velma. Actually, it's funny you say that, Reese. I thought that when I first saw it, I'm like, wow, it looks exactly like the new Velma. Rob Schneider will also be on. Rob Rob Shredder will be on Warzone 2. Shows you how dead this game is already. Season 2, we're adding characters. Yeah, I haven't played any Call of Duty since Season 1. I haven't even touched Season 2 yet. Just to give you guys a heads up too, next weekend, both streams are going to be fully Diablo 4 streams. There will be no talking entertainment. I will be playing Diablo 4. I will stream it if you're interested, but I'm just letting you know ahead of time. Not that I'm not going to talk to you guys, but I'm going to be playing Diablo 4 next weekend, so. Is there a new movie or show for Yeah, dude. Transformers Rise of the Beast movie. That's coming out like, what, another month or two? Meg 2, Ninja vs. Shark, and Cocaine Shark will be movies of the year. Probably. April O'Neil's usually hot. Oh, well. Yep. Oh, well, D4 comes out. No, it's the beta. So there's a beta starting next weekend and then the following weekend. So it's 2 weekends of the beta. The first weekend are for people who pre-ordered the game. The second weekend is for everyone, open to everybody. So for 2 weekends straight, I'm going to be streaming Diablo 4. Is the new Toho Godzilla this year? Yeah, it comes out, I think was it November or October? Meg 1 was okay, but the book was way scarier. Rob, are you going to get Resident Evil 4 Remake? Probably not. That'll probably be a game I pick up much later. Or who knows, maybe I will, because now Starfield's been confirmed to come out in September. I was hoping Starfield would come out sooner, but I might be able to squeeze Resident Evil in there, because even though Diablo is the next 2 weekends, after the second beta opening, the game don't come out till June. So got a ways to go before I get to play that again. Punisher is confirmed to be in Daredevil Born Again. Wish I could be excited. Yeah, again, I don't give a shit anymore. Delay comes out this Tuesday on digital. Oh, good. I'll keep a heads up for that. Tokyo SOS is coming out to theaters at the end of the month. Yeah, I mean, again, Severio. I mean, I have it on DVD. I have no desire to watch it in the theater. I'm not going to spend the money. I'm a huge Godzilla fan, but again, I got to pick and choose where I want to spend my money if I go to movies. And as you can tell, I'm being very picky. But I don't think I would ever see a Godzilla movie in theaters that I already own. You know, like the older ones. I've seen them a million times. Punisher doesn't kill people and uses Nerf guns. Sounds about right. You can catch it on YouTube. Yeah, and even on YouTube, I wouldn't watch it because it costs like what, $3? I have it on DVD. Not only that, it's not even. It's one of my least favorite Godzilla movies. So there's a lot of reasons why I wouldn't pay to see it in the theater. Would you go see Godzilla 0 in theaters? Yeah, because that's a new movie. I would probably go watch it in theaters. But chances are I'll probably get to watch it before it hits theaters. So, because of the powers of the internets. Yeah, I mean, again, Severio, and no offense, but you're probably, you're younger. You probably live at home. It's something you can afford to do. I got to be picky. So. Would I go to watch Godzilla and Kong in theaters? Okay, let's just do this here real quick. Yeah, let me do a series of streams and videos leading up to Godzilla and Kong and then not go see it in theaters. Yeah, that makes perfect sense, okay? Yeah, just feel free to put your brain back in. All right. No, Jason Hurst said, would you go watch Godzilla and Kong in theaters? So. Is there a good streaming platform for Shin Ultraman? I wouldn't be able to tell you. Your best bet is to look it up and see if it's on any stream platform and just take what you can get. I didn't actually watch it on a streaming service. The movie was sent to me. Night, sweetie. Yeah, she's tired. Yeah. I understand that, Rob. I'm just saying that my brother been making fun of me for that. Yeah. We haven't heard that song for a while. Yeah. I mean, you didn't even watch Godzilla vs. Kong in theaters, so I was just curious. Well, that was... See, I don't expect Godzilla and Kong to come out on stream the same day it comes out in theaters. So, but if it does, then yeah, I'll probably watch it at home. It's convenient. I mean, I have a 70-inch TV, QLED. I mean, the theater experience for me personally is overrated. When it's right there in front of me on 70 inches of beautiful HD clarity, actually looks better than it does in the theaters. Just keeping it real. I know there's some people who are really, the theater experience. The theater experience can be very, it's fun. You know what I mean? I think the audio makes it worth it. The visuals, I remember when I watched the first Avatar in theaters, and then I watched it for the first time on Blu-ray, and I was like, this looks much better on this TV than it did in the theater.
You are one awesome motherfucker.
...2007 TMNT film versus the new Too Many Nasty Turds 23. Oh, I see what you did there. Very nice. I'm surprised 65 isn't doing well in theaters, and you dinosaur movie should be major hit. Well, it's not getting good reviews, Assassin, so... Plus, you got to remember, Jurassic World had the luxury of the Jurassic Park series behind it. But, you know, out of the new Jurassic World movies, the first one is the best one. It progressively got worse from there. If people says it sucks, no one's wasting money on it. Yeah. And look, I'll be the first to tell you. It is. I mean, I'm feeling it hard. We're feeling it hard here. It is no joke. Like, when I look at my grocery bill, I feel like crying. Like, and I mean that seriously. Because the change in the amount of money, it's really the groceries that are killing us. You know, I mean, our rent went up a little bit. It didn't go up nearly as much as it did last year. It went up, but we've been good tenants here, and we have a good relationship with the management and the maintenance people. So I kind of think we got off good. But in terms of the rent, it didn't go up very much at all. But it's really the groceries that are getting destroyed. I mean, to just put it quite frankly, this is the first time in a very long time that we have essentially been living paycheck to paycheck. That's how bad it is. I mean, it's rough. It's rough. So to take $20 and spend it in the theaters, not very wise. When I tell you that my grocery bill is, it's a lot. It's a lot. That's where most of the money's going. It's fucking, if you guys are young and living at home, be very thankful, because I wish I was. I wish I was in my early 20s, late teens, still living at home, because it is brutal. It's brutal out here. Am I using the crypto money? I have had to dive into that a couple of times. I've, for the most part, have managed to stay away from my bigger investments. But yeah, I've had to dive into my wallet, into my bank, into my savings to to keep us going a couple of times. It's not pretty. I'm telling you guys, it's not pretty. It's a little depressing, to be honest. I took note for my movie, and you would, and you know, I've thought about, trying to put more effort into YouTube, you know, just to kind of make a couple extra bucks here and there. But it's hard when you're kind of in the, like, I'm not gonna lie, I've had the blues the past couple of months because of the struggle. So it's hard to come on a video and look all excited. And then on top of that, the stuff you're watching is just not good. The stuff that's out there, like, what am I going to review? I can't sit here and lie to you guys and review shows I'm just not interested in. I can't do Marvel shit. I can't do anything. And yeah, I'm always going to do Godzilla. That's the unofficial flagship of the channel, but there's not much, you know, Godzilla is hot and cold right now because it's still early. So it's tough to I can't pretend to be interested in something and try to do videos just to get as many views as I can to what? Get a couple, I mean, what is it? I think it's like, what, 10 cents or something, like every 100 views or something. I mean, it's just the amount of effort and the amount of energy to make it at least somewhat presentable. And then, you know, I essentially would have to regrow it's tough. Right now, I'm so concerned about so many other things. There's no way I could pull it off. You know? Yeah, I did hear about that, James. Yeah, it's $1 per 1,000 views. None of my videos don't even crack 1,000 anymore. So, you know what I mean? I even canceled. I don't even have editing. So by April 27th, I won't even have editing software anymore. I used to do the Adobe suite because I like to use the Photoshop, and I used to like use Premiere. I canceled it. It's so I won't even be able to edit videos after April 25th. That's how real it's getting. Like, you guys think I'm not playing. It's tough. Yeah. Do you think they'll show a teaser for the new Monsterverse show or Godzilla and Kong at G-Fest this year? G-Fest has never been known to debut anything major, so I'm going to say no, but it would be cool. I think you have a better chance of getting a early look at the TV show during Comic-Con. As far as the movie, I wouldn't expect anything for the movie until like the last quarter of the year, the last 3 months of the year. Rob, you should try to get in a Mr. Beast video so he can give you $30,000 and shout out your channel. Try to get, well, he lives in North Carolina, so maybe I should go and find him, like, yo, can you help your brother out? Nah. Yeah, man, times are tough. There's no joke about that. Brie Larson apparently is arguing on set with her co-star, and she's mad it's not her movie. It's actually funny seeing it burn. Is there footage of that, or that's just what's being told out there? Which Final Wars did well, so we wouldn't have had to wait 10 years for another Godzilla movie. Well, yeah, but that's over and done with. I mean, there's no point in looking back on that now. I'm trying to understand your emos there, Severio. G-Fest is so niche that Legendary doesn't know it exists. No, they know it exists. They know it exists. But it is niche in the sense that the only people there are kaiju fans. Where Comic-Con, you got fans of all different genres. So it's a more large... Remember, they want a more diverse audience because they want... The general audience... It's the same rule. General audience is going to make them the money, not the hardcore fans. That's always been the rule. I've been checking out roulette strategies on YouTube. It's still a big gamble. Yeah, I don't. That's how you fall into a deeper hole. You know, trying to find quick ways to make money. Don't do it. It's not worth it. Just ride it out. Apparently, Gamma Rebirth something on March 25th, so keep an eye out. Something about Gamma Rebirth, March 25th. Cool. Probably a release date. That'd be nice. At least from what I've been hearing from my brother in San Diego is good. Even my movie reviewer friends are tired of movies today. Yeah, I don't know how some of these YouTubers do it. You know? I mean, I know some of them they love it. You know, they're blind to the whole thing. But there got to be some out there that just hate it. And they're just pretending because it's there. Like, I can't see how Mr. Awesome, or not Mr. Awesome, Emergency Awesome, I can't see how he's loving the current direction of these comic book movies. But that's his bread and butter. So he's not going to shit on it. You know what I mean? But I can't imagine he loves this stuff. I mean, that guy is like an encyclopedia for comic history. So I can't imagine him liking the direction they're going. But he's been making a lot of money off of that the last 10 years. So is he going to change direction? No, he's going to sit there and pretend. It's his job now. He has to lie. This is how it is. Have I watched Batman movies? Yeah, I've seen Batman movies. As long as you don't shill as hard like new rock stars. Emergency Awesome is 19 years old. Look at that. He's older than I thought in terms of being on YouTube. Yeah, so you can imagine he has to be wondering, what the fuck am I going to do? I'm just going to have to keep rolling with it. All we saw of Kong anime so far is a Kong foot picture. Gamma already has like 4 teasers. Yeah. I'm until they say it's officially not coming out, we just gotta wait and see in terms of Kong. Yeah, Jason Harris said Emergency Awesome's channel is 19 years old. Is that true? That's really, I mean, was YouTube even around in 2003? I don't think so. I thought YouTube was more like 2007. Let's see how old this channel is, because it could tell you right on the homepage. Let's see. About... Dude, his channel's 11 years old. He came out 1 year before I did. 2012, Jason. What the fuck? Are you okay? Is everything all right? It's like... Yeah, his channel's 2012. You thought he was older, Paleo? Damn, you motherfuckers really... Well, his channel, not him. I mean, if you've seen what Charlie looks like, he's clearly not 19. I would say he's maybe slightly younger than me. I hope the Kong anime isn't canceled. I'm looking forward to the anime and the Monarch show. Rob, you thought he was 14? No. What the fuck are you talking about? Dude, I never said anything about his age. I'm talking about his channel. You said his channel was 19 years old. I said, no, his channel's came 1 year before mine. What are you talking about, like 14 years old? Like, of course not. Have you seen what the guy looks like? He's clearly not 14. Even when he was doing videos in 2013, he didn't look anywhere near 14. Hell, he looked like he was my age, like mid-30s, which means now he'd probably be a little younger than me. I don't know, Jay. I think you just need to be a little bit more clear in your text. Maybe I'm not understanding because there's no context there. But what the fuck is happening? Olin, you're not going to show your mask? He got what he thinks is a Godzilla mask. Let's go with it. It looks very similar, but it's not.
It's like if Godzilla did.
I know you're into Final Fantasy. Any thoughts on the new gameplay for 16? Yeah, I'm looking forward to Final Fantasy 16.
It's if Godzilla dated Shin Godzilla.
All right, go ahead. Just put it on. It's one of the many things he got for his birthday. Look to the side so they can see the side. No, the other way. There you go. Nice.
I am now Godzilla. I'm not a son anymore. I'm just Godzilla.
All right. And she wants to play, of course. Yeah, I saw Skill Up's preview of it, and it looks cool. You can essentially turn into the summons and have a big kaiju fight. So I think a lot of kaiju fans are gonna like that. Every time there's like major events in the game where you transform into one of the summons, like Ifrit or Ramu or Shiva or whatever, but they turn into like big monsters and you just fight another summon and it's like one big monster fight. That shit is cool. Yeah, well, yeah, I don't think, well, it is the first officially. However, if you've ever played Final Fantasy Tactics, that one would probably, because at the time they didn't have the rating system, if they did, that one probably would have been rated mature. Final Fantasy Tactics was like, it's like without, minus all the sex, is essentially like Game of Thrones. It's one of the best Final Fantasy games ever made. I love Final Fantasy Tactics.
Hey, yo.
Yeah, Final Fantasy, let me see. I haven't played Hogwarts since I beat it. And I really haven't messed around with too many mods. I'm looking forward to playing Diablo 4 for the next 2 weekends. That's going to be huge. It's probably just going to get me thirsty until June when it comes out. I'll probably be suffocated with Diablo 4 up until September when Starfield comes out. That's the next one. And then in between that, there's going to be Final Fantasy 16. Man, my summer is going to be packed playing video games. E.T.N is going to turn into ETG, Entertainment Talk Gaming. Why does 7 get the most representation? Because it was probably the biggest. Final Fantasy 7, the reason it's so popular, and again, don't take this as a knock, this is just the truth. I was probably you guys' age when Final Fantasy 7 came out. At the time, it was the biggest game, like in terms of the scale of the game, the graphics, the transition from what Final Fantasy was before that and what it became on the PlayStation when it first came out. The story was one of their best stories ever told. It actually had stakes in it. A character dies and never returns, and it's a major character. That was heart-wrenching for a lot of people. you had to be there. That's really all I can say. You had to be there to experience what Final Fantasy meant when it came out, Final Fantasy VII. It was essentially a leap in gaming at that time. To go from the Super Nintendos of the world, the Genesis of the world, to PlayStation, and that game was a huge leap. Huge. You have to understand what Final Fantasy VII looked like versus what Final Fantasy VI looked like before it. Final Fantasy VI or Final Fantasy III in America was sprites. It was on Nintendo Super Nintendo, but it was still sprites. You went from sprites to, at that time, Polygon, which you look at the old Final Fantasy VII now, obviously it looks like shit, right? But you have to understand, at that time, to go from sprites to 3D with the kind of art style they had, the material system was very unique. The music was epic. The characters were engaging. The story was a little out there, but for gaming, it's not like the story could make a good movie. But for gaming, in terms of story, it was very good. The stakes were actually there. It's not like a character dies and they come back. There's a permanent death in the game. I don't think anyone who wasn't there to experience that leap is never going to kind of understand that. And that's not a knock. That's just the truth. You just had to be there. I never played Tactics. I got into a series with Final Fantasy 13. What's going on, JC? Yeah, Final Fantasy Remake 7 Remake is very good. Final Fantasy 4 and 6 are my personal favorites. I wish more Merc was made. I also like Final Fantasy 10 quite a bit. Final Fantasy 12 was good. Final Fantasy 9 is very good. Final Fantasy 2 and Final Fantasy 3 or 6 are very good. I mean, MC has that problem with character death. They always come back. Yeah. I personally think the music for 4 and 6 are better than 7. Yeah. I like the music in Final Fantasy 10. I think the music in Final Fantasy 10 is great. Just getting out of work, slow day. That recession is kicking in. Yeah, we were just talking about that. So kind of like Zelda Ocarina of Time. I would say bigger. The thing about games like Zelda and Metroid, and those games are exclusive to the Switch. So if you're a big Nintendo fan, that has more meaning to you than Final Fantasy VII was more global. Like, it just felt bigger. Like, Ocarina of Time was a big deal, yes. But trust me when I tell you, Final Fantasy VII was like game-changing on a whole different level. Like, again, you had to, it's hard for me to explain. You literally had to be there. Like, Final Fantasy VII was, I mean, just took people by storm. Put it this way, take Elden Ring and multiply that by 10. Resident Evil was game changing too, but again, for a specific genre. What made Resident Evil game changing was that it took a very niche genre and brought it to the limelight. Survival horror wasn't very common back in the 90s. Resident Evil changed that, and now it's a major genre. So in that sense, it was impactful. Final Fantasy VII was impactful culturally. It's very rare for a game to do that. It's very rare for... Why do you think people, before the Final Fantasy VII remake, why do you think people have been clamoring for Final Fantasy to have a remake? And I understand why it took Square so long, because that was a culturally impactful game. And unlike over here, where Hollywood doesn't, or some game, they don't give a shit how important a game is culturally, Japan takes that shit very seriously. So they knew making a remake had to be the right way, which is why I think they've gone in the direction of messing with time in this game. It's almost as a way to get them out of any mistakes they might make. I'm grateful they remade it, but if they never remade Final Fantasy VII, I understand why. Parasite Eve was good. I liked Parasite Eve a lot. I remember playing that game. But again, that game was very niche. You know, like I don't remember a whole lot of people talking about it. Like it was I personally liked it. Oh yeah, the RoboCop game looks cool as well. Rob, did you like Final Fantasy 15? A lot of people hated it, but I enjoyed it. No, I like Final Fantasy 15. I think it's a lot better than people give it credit for. In fact, I kind of adore Final Fantasy 15. I like the whole bromance thing. I like that. It's one of the few Final Fantasy games where you start off. In fact, I think it's the only Final Fantasy game where you start off with your core party. Like many Final Fantasy games, you go through the game, you get different party members and blah, blah, blah. This one, you start off, they're like 4 brothers. I like the story there. I like the camaraderie. I like the combat system. I like how impactful food is. Like you have a lot of games where you make food or you buy food and it gives you a small buff, but it's really, you know, just a small. This one, you have to get the good recipes. You have to cook a good meal and you have to eat a good meal before you go into a big boss fight. I like that a lot. Some of the late game dungeon diving is a little redundant, but I like the weapon system. I like the fact that you can switch up. I think Final Fantasy 15 is insanely underrated. I don't think I got to watch King's. I can't remember if I've seen. I have it. I just don't remember if I saw it or not. Yeah, I probably didn't watch it. I don't remember. I remember the anime. I know what you're talking about. I don't think I've seen it. Do you think the same characters will die in remake part 2? There are 2 who died in the original that haven't died yet. Won't spoil it for anyone in chat. I think it's hard to tell. I don't think they'll do it this time. I don't think they'll do it. And if they do, I don't think it's going to be the same person. I have a feeling I know who's going to get the bite the dust this time around. I have a feeling I know who's going to bite the dust. Worst or least favorite Final Fantasy, Rob? Final Fantasy 8 and Final Fantasy 13 are my least favorite. No matter how many times I try to play 8, I just could never get into it. And 13, I dropped it within the first few hours. I remember I disliked it so much, I just brought it back to the store. Obviously, I didn't get a full refund, but I knew I wouldn't play it, and I wanted to get whatever credit I could for it. But that was a loss, a net loss, in terms of buying it and then returning it for credit. I always wanted to play Final Fantasy 14, but as an MMO with never-ending content, I was overwhelmed. I have I think 2 characters in Final Fantasy 14. I think I have I want to say level 40 something. I love the game, but the amount of time required to do things in that game, I just can't do it. I can't play MMOs like that no more. I remember back in the day when I was single and no kids, I was one of those MMORPG players that were like tops on server. I was when I played EverQuest 2, I played on. I was in 2 guilds. Both of them were ranked number 1, number 2. Not server wide, of all servers. And I was the number 2 ranked necromancer in that game across all servers. The number 1 necromancer was in the opposite guild of me. And I remember one time we dueled twice. The first time he beat me, but the second time I used a strategy to beat him that shocked everyone, because we had this big, the 2 top guilds were both cool, competitive but cool. So we used to get together and all form a circle and duel each other. So it was me versus him. So the first time he won. The second time I used a strat that nobody saw coming. I basically took a spell in the necromancer class that was pretty much obsolete by level 14. But at level 60, I used it on him. And basically what the spell did was it would do like a quake, area of effect quake. Essentially, it took him off his feet, so he couldn't cast any magic. So that was the spell I opened with, took him off his feet, and then I just nuked his ass to death. He didn't even get a move off. I think I finished him in under 10 seconds. So the first fight we had was close. It was me versus him, going back and forth. But the second fight, I owned his ass. Yep, those were the good old days. Raiding. Yeah, me and my buddy, we were like tops in that game. Had the best gear. I was hardcore. I was a hardcore MMORPG raider back in the day. That's crazy. These MMO games seem fun, but I just get overwhelmed with the amount of content. Yeah. They made a Final Fantasy Battle Royale game for mobile that was actually pretty cool and unique. Yeah. Never heard of that one. Maybe I should check it out. But what was I gonna say? Yeah, Final Fantasy, I'm looking forward to 16. 16 looks like it's going to change the game again. It's not going to be like Final Fantasy 7 was, but they're obviously going they're going in a different direction, and I think it's a good direction. Oh, it got shut down? Okay, that stinks. Yeah, Final Fantasy 11 was oof. Yeah, when they came out, when they updated and upgraded the game, that was a big change. Next game I'm looking forward to is Resident Evil 4 Remake. I have it pre-ordered. Yeah, I, at some point I'll check out that game. It's just down on my list, you know, because right now for me, you know, I already had Hogwarts, played Hogwarts, loved it. I think it's a great game. But now my radar is Diablo 4, Final Fantasy 16, and Starfield. And I think there is, and the Cyberpunk update, the Cyberpunk expansion when it comes out. Those are like the 4 games on my radar right now. So I don't really have room for Resident Evil 4. So I probably won't play Resident Evil 4 until sometime next year. Yeah, Hogwarts is great. I'm sure there's some other games. I feel like I'm missing more than... I think those are like my big 4 remaining that I want to play. I'm just looking at the list here. Oh, and all my farming games. You guys know I love my farming games. There's a bunch of them coming out this year. I have to make room for those. Got to get my farm on. But yeah, see, Diablo 4, Final Fantasy 16, Starfield. Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth. It's coming out at the end of the year. So yeah, that's right. So that's 5 because Final Fantasy 7, the Part 2 Rebirth is coming out the holidays this year. Oh my God, it's gonna be a big year for games. It's gonna be crazy. My lord. Rob, aren't you excited for Spider-Man 2? Yeah, but again, it's gonna go on the back burner. Like, there's a lot of good games coming out, but I have a certain list of games that I'm prioritizing over others. So Resident Evil 4 and Spider-Man 2 are in the back burner for me. My priorities for gaming this year is I already got Hogwarts, played that, beat that, loved it. Next is Diablo 4. In between, after Diablo 4, while playing that, Final Fantasy 16. My goal is to beat Final Fantasy 16 before Starfield comes out. Starfield comes out in September. So from September to the end of the year is when I have to beat Starfield. And then when Starfield is done, Final Fantasy 7 2 Rebirth comes out. So, I have to keep a schedule, like I work, kids, this and that. So I literally have my year planned out for all these games. So there's no room for Spider-Man. There's no room for Resident Evil. Considering what entertainment's looking out like right now in terms of movies and TV shows, you'll probably be seeing me stream all those games the whole year. And not only on Fridays and Saturdays, like every time I pull the game up to play, I'm going to stream it. Being a Dick season 3 probably won't come out till early next year. What are you watching?
I'm watching Goofy on Memes Compilation 11.
All right, well, you only have a few more minutes. You know that, right? Yeah, and then there's all the Switch games that I haven't even thought about yet. So, Rob, did you see Chris Rock's response to Will Smith? Yeah, I saw it live when it went live. Yeah, that. He's had better stand up, but I did like the Will Smith part. Yeah, I didn't finish Leap of Faith, and I think you guys understand why. So, what I will tell you is that the ending was a pretty happy ending. So, Cece turns out to be fine, and main character and the girl stay together. They all go to the concert, like her concert, and there's a big thing. So, I think at the concert, Alexa decides to go public with main character. So, we were very close to the end, but considering the theme of that game, what had happened recently, I didn't feel it was appropriate to play it. I didn't feel comfortable playing it. Let's put it that way. You haven't even went and populated on the... Yeah, I literally have a Switch sitting here collecting dust. I have Metroid and I haven't even touched it. Am I looking forward to Spider-Man 2? So yeah, so someone else just asked this like not even 2 minutes ago. Yeah, I think it's going to be a great game, but it's on the back burner for me. This year is going to consist of Diablo, Final Fantasy, and Starfield. That's it. Anything else is going to have to wait till 2024. Because Diablo 4 is not like 2 of the games that I want to play are not games that's it. Well, one of them isn't, but Diablo 4 is a constant game. That's a live service game, and I will be spending a lot of time playing it. Final Fantasy 16 obviously is story driven. It has a beginning, middle, and end, so I expect to beat that game at some point. And then Starfield is gonna be kind of in between both. It's a beginning, middle, and end game, but it's probably gonna be longer and more drawn out than Final Fantasy 16. But it's not a live service game. But I also have to finish it before Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth comes out. So So I don't see any room in between all that. I don't see any room for Spider-Man or Resident Evil 4 or any other game for that matter. They're just going to have to wait. Rob, you may have talked about it earlier, but are there any movies you're looking forward to this year? John Wick and Transformers, probably. And obviously Godzilla when it comes out later this year. And the Monarch show when it comes out, hopefully later this year. It's probably the only few things in entertainment I'm looking forward to. Everything else, I'm like Marvel movies, I'm done. I don't even think I care about the X-Men at this point. I've just not interested anymore. They're going in a direction I don't agree with, so I expect them to fuck up the X-Men. And I don't think I want to be around to see that, being a big X-Men fan. I got accepted to a pretty good school. Night, honey. I got accepted to a pretty good school. Wonder if they'll let me play video games in the dorm. Why wouldn't you? I had a PlayStation, and in fact, my first time playing Final Fantasy VII was in college in West Virginia. I can't imagine why. I mean, why would they not let you play games in the dorm? You know what I mean? I remember when I was in college, I mean, we used to, every weekend, the guys used to get together in the rec room, put on the PlayStation and play Madden and all this other shit. Has that changed? Are you not allowed to play video games in college anymore? Night, buddy boy.
Night.
Tomorrow morning we'll put that together, okay?
Okay.
And then hopefully, if it's a clear night, we'll use it tomorrow.
Okay.
Well, if we can do it before my stream, yeah.
Okay.
All right. I bought him a telescope for his birthday. The last one I got him for his birthday was shit, so I decided just to get him something a lot nicer. Congrats, I just recently hear that Ghost with Patrick Swayze is getting a remake. Yeah, of course it is, because Hollywood doesn't know how to make anything anymore. Because video games are the root cause of all our problems. Are they? Maybe it depends on the school he's going to. Yeah, Potomac State. That's correct, Casey. In the military, we can play video games in the barracks. Don't see why a college would complain. I heard from a friend about how this college doesn't let him bring his Switch, but I'm not going to the same school, so I don't know. Well, that's weird. Hey, Rob, how have you been? Hope all is well. I think the Monsterverse is making a comeback. I think most of the normal people, I think, are jumping on board. Well, I wouldn't call it a comeback. There was nothing to come back from. I would say that it's surging, but there was nothing to come back from. The Monsterverse started off as niche, and it's become more mainstream over the 10 years. I just think it's a good growth. I was having a party in the dorms during college and drinking. I was having party in dorm. Yeah, I mean everybody was so. But you never had a day where you and the boys in the dorm would get together and play games? I mean, I remember we had parties too, but fuck, we didn't party 24/7. Die of alcohol poisoning. That would be, yep, Kaiser, West Virginia, correct. I think it was like population 2,400 or something when I went. It was a small town. It's funny how a low budget movie from Japan, Shin Ultraman, has more convincing CGI than a big budget Hollywood movie, Ant-Man 3. I don't know if I go that far. But I mean, I understand. I mean, look, Assassin, I already know how you are. You're very biased, so you know. We agree to disagree. As while I'm not obviously I didn't go see Ant-Man 3, and I probably won't see it. I wouldn't go as far as to say that the CGI in Ultraman is better. I wouldn't go that far. The CGI in America, even at its worst, is still superior to what Japan can generate. So, I mean, let's just be honest here. It's not, you know. Rob, have you watched the Foundation series on Apple Plus? Season 2 is coming out this summer, and it's a very good sci-fi. I wish they didn't cancel. Wait, what? Cancel Raised by Wolves either, though. It's not.
You are one
Not
awesome
on sci-fi.
motherfucker.
Okay. The best remakes out there are John Carpenter's The Thing, The Blob, and The Hills Have Eyes remake. Okay. See, you're partial to horror, Bobby. I wonder if it's going to get higher after Godzilla and Kong comes out. We'll see. That's the major question. You know, where do you go from there, right? Here we go again. Yep, we party a lot and we snuck girls into our dorms to do the thingy. You actually had to sneak girls into your dorm? Girls were allowed in our dorm every weekend. In fact, I remember my female friend, I'll say female friend because that's what she was, came up to see me from New York over a weekend. She slept with me the whole weekend, no problem. You guys actually need to sneak? That's funny. That's what I meant to say. So would you agree that the best three hangover fast foods, Taco Bell, McDonald's burgers, or spicy foods? How about none? Those will all go right to the bathroom and shit your brains out. Yeah, I would never eat any three of those for a hangover food. Are you kidding? You know what you want to eat for a hangover? Bread to soak up the alcohol. That's what you want to eat. Any person who knows how to, any person who parties hard one night knows how to sober up fast the next one. Coffee and bread. That's it. As I wasn't a coffee drinker back in the day, I used to eat a lot of bread. Yeah, She-Hulk looks better than Ultraman. Yeah, She-Hulk does look better than Ultraman. Agree to disagree for sure. My apologies. No, but I mean, Assassin, I mean, you've made it pretty clear that you have a bias. I mean, you're speaking biasly. Anybody, and please don't take this the wrong way. I'm just being real honest here because I kind of respect people, even though they have a bias, to at least be objective. You're clearly not. But anybody with half a nut knows that the CGI in Japan will never exceed the United States. It's just not. There's no way you could. So that's what I'm saying. You're not saying that objectively. You just have a bias. And I would have more respect for you if you would just at least be more objective, but you never are. So I'm not surprised you said that. You know, just being honest. Believe me, as annoyed as I am right now with Hollywood movies, at its worst, the CGI is still better than Japan. Rob, did you ever eat at the Chat and Chew restaurant in Kaiser? No, our restaurant of choice when I went to school there was Subway. Yeah, I wasn't carrying a lot of cash back in those days to actually go to a restaurant. There's a food place, I think, in Florida called 420 Restaurant or something like that. It was on Man vs. Food, and they had all kids of good late night foods. MN3 is such a low bar to praise something over anyway. But Japan does have better animation than the United States, though. Yeah, I mean, if you like cartoons, sure. Cartoons for me, I mean, I'm very picky. Yeah, I was just going to say, I know people hate when I say cartoons, but that's what they are. Great, I just heard a bank just collapse. A lot of banks are having trouble because the bonds they bought are useless now, which is bad. Wells Fargo went up and closed. It's all over CNN. Yeah, that's why my student loan that I used to pay to Wells Fargo got changed over to something else. So they still got a long time to go until they can compare it to the Hollywood in terms of CGI. It's definitely worse than any American CGI, but for a $7 million budget in a foreign country, I'm impressed. Yeah, and again, I'm not saying it's bad. It's just not on the level yet. It's not there
You
yet.
are one awesome motherfucker.
I've always admired anime. Rob, was Walmart there when you were at Potomac State? I don't remember. I gotta be honest, I didn't leave campus much. I didn't have a car. I will admit that I am biased, but it still amazes me how Japan can make these CGI heavy action movies with small budgets compared to America. Yeah, well, and that's why they look the way they do, because they're small budget. So to agree or disagree that the NFL is scripted like WWE Monday Night Raw, it's not scripted. I don't know where this is coming from. You can't script that shit. Yeah, that I don't know. That is gaining steam, and I'm going to tell you right now, anybody who thinks the NFL is scripted believes the earth is flat. Those are the kind of people that it's just ridiculous. Rob, I heard Jonathan Majors was great as Kang. Yeah, I heard that too. I'm still not going to see the movie. Don't say anime being cartoons, Rob. Yeah, but that's what they are. There's still more Wells Fargo, but they're starting to close down. Because there's one across the street from me that's still open. Have you seen that Hidekiano himself did the motion capture for Ultraman? No, I didn't really deep dive into the behind the scenes stuff. Childish. Remember, I'm just getting into Ultraman. Like, it's not like I'm a huge fan to like have a desire to look at that. I don't even look at the behind the scenes shit for Godzilla movies. Just give me the shit I want. It's very rare for me to go behind the scenes of some stuff. Rob, are you going to see Creed 3? Nope. Not going to go see that. People are getting their heads smashed in that's not scripted. LMAO. Yeah. Wrestling's fake, though. The only thing fake about it, I do take some offense when people say wrestling's fake. Not because I'm obviously not a wrestler, but I think people don't appreciate the trauma they put their body through. The only thing about wrestling that's fake is the results. But what they're doing in the ring is not fake. Do you understand that underneath that ring is plywood? It's not padded. There's a very thin line of padding above the plywood. And these motherfuckers are dropping from the top of the ring. I mean, I have a great appreciation for professional wrestlers because of what they put their body through. And it takes a lot of training to get your body used to taking that kind of blunt force trauma. 3 nights a week, no less. So no, wrestling is not fake. What's not real about wrestling are the results. That is scripted. The trash talking or the promos they do and all that, some are scripted, some are not. Depends how good they are. Some wrestlers are good at promos, so they'll go on their own script. Most of them are scripted. But in terms of what they're doing in the ring, that is very real. I'm sorry, you can't, even if they had a padded ring, you can't jump from a top rope, land on your knees and your chest or your back, and walk away without pain. What year was I at Potomac State? So let me see. 96 is when I graduated high school. I want to say I went in there. Was it going into the fall, or was it? I think it was like it was either 96 going into 97 or 97 going into 98, and I didn't stay there very long. I wasn't even there for half a year. Why are you guys so interested in me when I was in college? Just curious. I see a lot of questions. I always get a little curious when people start asking specific questions and they keep asking it over and over. It makes me a little jarry. Like, what information are you seeking? Because, like, I was just asked about Walmart being there. I was asked about a restaurant being there. You know what I mean? Now I'm being asked about what year I was there. What's going on? Rob, have you seen John Cena versus Brock Lesnar in WWE? Which one? Those guys have had a lot of matches over the years. Yeah, all wrestling is predetermined, but the performance those guys are giving are fucking real. This is the first time. This is not the first time I spoke about going to college in West Virginia. Maybe it's the first time some people have heard of it, but I've spoken about that plenty of times. You should make a movie, Rob, the college years. Yeah, it'll be a 20-minute movie. I wasn't in college very long. At least out of high school. I didn't go back to college till I was like 25. And that was online. The very bloody one. I'd have to go back and watch it again. You camp near Kaiser every year? Oh, okay. You think I should make a video about my life? I'll make money? I doubt it. If I made a video about my life, I'll be lucky to get 70 views on that. I give Scream a 6. I give Scream 6 8 out of 10, and 65 is a 3 out of 10. Wow. I gotta go for tonight. It was nice seeing you again, Rob. Stay safe out there and remember the lake this Tuesday. Yes, I will remember the lake. And maybe I'll review that. Yeah, thanks for keeping me posted on that too, by the way, Assassin. Black Rob, the movie based on true events. Yeah, if we're talking about Black Rob, we got to go back to at least, starting at 18 years old. From 18 to about 24 were the Black Rob years. Rob Vlogs. I think I'm just going to go back to doing a 1-hour podcast and just put it on the channel. And I'll just talk about everything. And whoever likes it, they like it. Yeah, Millennial Yoda is your brother, right, Casey? I think Japan is better off using practical effects while America should do a mix. I think Japan should just start putting more money into their CGI. How about that? Yeah, I have a lot. Yeah, many, many crazy stories. Rob lived in the hood as a child. I actually did. I grew up in the South Bronx. And you don't get any more hood than that. Will we ever watch Nukes again, at least for a special occasion? I think a watch along is in order at some point. You know, maybe tomorrow. I don't know. Soon. Let me just work my way out of this rut that I've been in lately. You know. What if one of us is writing a story of your life for history class assignments? Oh, Jesus Christ. I don't think you'll pass. There's a lot of stuff in there. I don't think your teacher, their teachers or your classmates may get triggered. So, because some of the shit I did back in the day, I mean, with the Me Too movement, I'd probably be in jail. And I'm not lying about that. There were some pretty crazy nights at the club. If those nights were repeated this day, yeah, it'd be the cops waiting for me outside. I do feel bad for you guys. You guys got it rough. I've been watching Love Island. Man, women these days, they're out of their fucking mind. With the things they expect and their arrogance. Man, I'm watching that show and I'm like, these bitches are crazy. I'm like, and when I say crazy, I don't mean like they're acting up, but their arrogance is insane. Like, the expectations they have of the guys and then what they expect the guys to tolerate of them is just unrealistic. And I thought to myself, watching these shows, I said, man, is this what men have to deal with these days? Because these are the kind of women I would have sent them to hell back in the day. I ran into many, look, I'm married now. Obviously, I've let myself go. But let me tell you something. Back in the day, I've always been a big guy one way or the other. And I'll never sit here and say, oh, I was a hunker. No, I was a good-looking guy, you know, a little bit more than an average Joe. I never had a problem getting women. Never. And occasionally I'd run into that girl that I would say to myself, yeah, there's no way I can land that. And then I would land it and I'd be like, yeah, yo, man, she's hot, this and that. And then I got to know them. And I sent them to hell. The fact that there's guys out there tolerating this kind of shit from women that they do look nice, but there are like billions of women in the world. It doesn't matter how good one looks. Not gonna do it, man. I watch these shows, and that's what kind of makes them entertaining. It's like I see this and I'm like, yo, these bitches are crazy. Like, you know, they say, like, these are like some of the catchphrases I hear. Like, I need a man who can handle me. And I'm like, why the fuck would that, why would any man want to even entertain a woman who says, I need a man who can handle me? I'm not looking for a woman to handle. I got a lot of things in my life I need to handle, and I don't want a woman to be one of them. And something like that, back in the day, us guys, we didn't even entertain that. But there's some dudes these days that they put in there. Nice guys, too. These shows I've been watching, the men tend to be more loyal than the women, which shocks me. Yeah, I don't, look, let me tell you something, man. If you guys want to meet a nice girl out there, you know, and I know this doesn't sound great, you don't want to hear this, church, you know, if you're in school, if you're in college, gravitate towards the libraries. Try not to get the ones at the party, because the ones at the party will fuck you one night and they might call rape the next day. Or they will fuck you one night and fuck your friend the next. I remember, because this happened in college for me too. I've seen girls. I never, let me tell you something. In college, when I went to college, I never got with any girls. There was about 2 or 3 girls that really liked me. Never gave them a time of day. Why? Because they were always at the big parties and they always got drunk. And I said to myself, no. Nope. You got to know your worth. You hear a lot of women say this, like, I know my worth. And that's fine. That's great. But as a man, you got to know your worth too. And it's tough. Sometimes you see a good shorty, like, damn, I really want to get with that. Sometimes you got to know when to fall back. You got to know when to fall back. Or you get a passport. Sorry, guys. A lot of men are doing that. A lot of men are meeting women outside of the United States. That's actually going up. A lot of Asian women. In fact, I saw a YouTube short of an Asian woman who met her husband here. And she made a funny video. And, she, you know, genuinely, like, she actually loves him. But she made a funny video saying, do all you women here in the U.S. want to know why we're taking your men? Because, and she listed a bunch of things that she believes in as a woman, you know, being submissive, taking care of her husband and the family. Like, this is what men want as they get older, you know? The problem is that women at the age of like 19, 20, instead of taking advantage of their most prime years, by the time they're ready to settle down, it's too late. And this is something that's been true for all of mankind and will never change. As a woman gets older, her value, and this sounds horrible, but this is true. As a woman gets older, her value declines. As a man gets older, his value increases. This is why sometimes you'll see a lot of men with younger women, because after a certain point, it gets harder and harder for a woman to have a kid. Whereas men who go into a profession, college, whatever, a lot of men these days, it is tougher to get established at a younger age. I mean, look at me. You know, I didn't get established until I was in my early 30s. Okay? Most men are getting established between the age of 30 and 35. So by the time a woman is ready to settle down in her mid-30s, she is not as valuable to a man as a woman who, say, let's say is 28, 27. You know what I mean? Like, my wife was younger than me by 1 year when I met her. So when I was ready to go at 32, she was 31, right? Still a little older, but she was still in her prime. Women between the ages of 20, 19 to like 30 are in their prime. Once they start creeping past 30, the clock starts ticking. So never think for 1 second that red flags for you as men, for you guys as young men. When a woman says, I need a man who can handle me. When a woman says, I only talk to men who come talk to me, like they want you to chase them, don't do it. Don't do it. You're looking for a 50-50 relationship. You want to chase your woman. You want to be reciprocated. Men also like to feel wanted. This is something that many women fail to realize these days. A lot of these younger women. Men love to feel wanted. So you're going to run into a lot of beautiful women. A lot of people are trying to get on Instagram, whatever. Learn as you go out there, guys, and you start dating, and I'll leave you with this little advice before I go. Go after a woman you want. Know your worth. Know what you bring to the table. And learn to like as well as learn to love what's good for you. That's one very important thing that I think both young men and young women fail to do these days. Yes, there's always going to be women that might grab your eye. You might be with a girl and there's another, oh man, learn to like and love what's good for you. That is a very important thing that most young people don't learn. I, fortunately, thanks to my dad, I learned that very early, which is why it was very easy for me to turn away women that I thought at one point was out of my league. And then when I got to know them, realized not only were they, I was out of their league, you know, like, you understand what I'm saying? Like personality wise, in terms of maturity, like I thought they were out of my league because of how they looked. But then when I got to know them, they weren't nearly as pretty anymore, you know? So it's very important to learn to love and like what's good for you. That's a very, very important skill as you date, as you get older, because, you know, at the end of the day, there's a multitude, you know, especially if you're ever going to get married, you remember you want to be with someone who's also your best friend, someone who's going to have your back. You know, there's a lot of elements that go into it. You know, yes, we all love big titties and a fat ass. You know what I mean? You guys know me. I always joke about that. But in all seriousness, it goes beyond that. So go out there and get them, fellas. All right. That's it for tonight. We'll be back tomorrow. It's not going to be a long stream because, like I said, it's my son's birthday. So we're going out to dinner in the early afternoon. We're going to go for an early dinner with my parents. And then, so we'll probably be streaming again around 8 o'clock. But yeah, and if I do manage to see The Lake on Tuesday, like Assassin said, it comes out, then we'll do a review about it, maybe talk about it. But next week's streams will be completely Diablo 4. So yeah, there's going to be Diablo 4 all day, every day. All right. Nice talk, guys. It was a lot of fun. Thanks for coming through. And we'll be back tomorrow night. And you guys have a good rest of the evening. And if I don't see some of you guys tomorrow, have a good weekend. All right? All right, guys. Take it easy.